Okay, so we're going to basically set up some sheets. This is part 2 of the first tutorial, week 1 tutorial. So we're just going to set up some sheets here for how to print this out. So if you go into your project browser, you've got all these tabs here where you can navigate how you're drawing and how you're looking at the building. And then down here you've got something called sheets. So right click on that and say new sheet, and so it's going to ask what kind of sheet you want to make. Right now we only have one loaded, A0 metric. It's a little bit bigger than what I anticipated, but we're going to use it for now. So I'm going to hit OK, and now if you go under sheets, there's a little bit of a plus next to it, a little plus sign. Hit that, and mine says 0 A102 unnamed. Yours will say A101. I've already had one there before and I deleted it. And so the next thing the tutorial asks is for you to add some information to the title block. So you might be able to just double click certain things and add like a sheet name in there. We're going to call it floor plan. But another way you can do it is you can just go into the properties and look at what you need in here. So for instance, it asks us to do draw and buy. So you're going to type it, I'm going to type in Jacob, just my own name, hit enter. It asks for a couple of other pieces of information. You can hit apply. So now if you go draw and buy, it should say Jacob right there. Oops, sorry about that. So anyway, now you know how to add information to a sheet. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to add the level 1 floor plan. So I'm just going to click on the level 1 floor plan, not double click. That'll take you to the actual floor plan. So just single click and then drag and drop it in here, and then give it one more click. So now we have it in here, but I want to make it a little bit bigger. So I'm going to double click inside of this black window, black frame, and it's gonna, a whole bunch of options will pop up down here. Again, if I double click outside of it, they disappear. If I double click into it, they reappear. It's a little bit like a viewport in AutoCAD. And so what I'm going to say now is show crop region. So I get this different type of black frame that pops up. And this is really something that lets me crop the drawing. So if I wanted to cut half of that, maybe not. What's going on here? That's strange. Okay, so if you hit crop, then it actually crops it. So I guess this was on yours. It'll probably be off. So that's what I messed up. But anyway, this should allow you to crop the drawing if you want to. There it is. So what I'm going to do is, for now, I'm just going to leave it a little bit bigger because we want to change the scale. So again, once you're inside of this window, I double click outside. If I double click back inside, I can change the scale here, and I'm going to go 1/2 inch equals 1 foot. And so now I've got my floor plan, and now I'm going to tighten up the crop view a little bit. So I'm going to double click inside, click this, use the grips, those little blue dots, to tighten things up a little. And then when I'm done, I'm going to say hide crop region. And so now it's gone. And I'm going to double click outside again to release it. Now I want to move my title block in a little closer. So I'm going to line that up with the corner. It's tough to make this smaller, this title block, or longer if you want that. So what you have to do, it's a bit counterintuitive. You have to click on the drawing, and then these grips pop up. So now I can shrink it down a little bit. And so now I've got my floor plan set up. And that's all I really needed to do. So I'm going to click it, move it to the side or whatever. And now it asks us to make 2 more. So I'm going to go back to sheets, right click, new sheet. Hit OK. And in this one, I think it wants us to do a front elevation. I believe that's the east in this case. There we go. I'm going to double click inside of it, set up the scale 1/2 inch to 1 foot, double click outside of it, and again it's a little bit long. So what I'm going to do here is double click inside of it again, turn the crop region on, and now I can just tighten this up a little bit. There we go. I'm going to double click outside of it, bring my title block in a little bit closer, and the last thing I need to do to remove this frame, the frame you see on it right now, is double click back inside of it and say hide crop region. There we go. And the last one it asks us to make is a 3D view. So again, new sheet. To do that, I'm just going to open up the 3D view right here, click, drag, pop it in there. Now for a 3D view, you don't have to scale it because no one's ever going to use it to create a measurement. But in this case, I just want it to be a little bit bigger on this page. So I'm going to stick to the 1/2 inch equals a foot scale that we've been using. I'm going to double click outside of it. Here I don't really have to crop anything. If I want, I can extend this just a little. And that's about it. So this is how, now you kind of know how to draw, just the very basics of how to draw, how to insert doors, windows, a roof. We're going to cover more elements as well, inserting stairs and ramps and floor plates and different floors and things like that. But these are the ABCs of how to draw. You now know the ABCs of how to lay out a page. And the last thing we're going to do is print it. So I'm going to go to File, Print, select Print, and it helps to have a printer selected here. So for some of you it may show a printer you don't have access to. If that's the case, like with me right now, I don't have access to all these other printers. So I'm going to go to Adobe PDF. It's up to you what you want to select here, create separate files. So if you're printing a whole bunch of sheets at once and you want them in separate files, leave it on that. I want it combined as one file, so I'm going to click that. Print range, we're going to go to selected views / sheets, and so I'm going to select this, and here it lets me pick what I want to print. So I want to print sheet A02, 102, 103, 104. For you it'll probably be 101, 102, 103, and I'm going to hit OK. It's going to ask me if I want to make this a set. Do you want to save these settings in a future for use in a future Revit session? I'm going to say sure, because maybe we'll want to print those 3 drawings again and then we don't have to set this up. So I'm going to say yes. It's going to call it set 1, OK, and that's it. Now you're ready to print. So I'm going to hit OK. It should ask me where to save it. I'm going to say desktop. And for my computer, sometimes it's really slow in printing. But I believe that's a problem unique to my computer, so hopefully yours just goes ahead and prints the PDF. So I'm not going to make you wait and watch it load the entire PDF here. I'm just going to go ahead and close it. But that's basically how you print something out. If you're having trouble with your PDF printer, please again feel free to shoot me a course message, and I'll get back to you with a fix. There's a bunch of little things you can do to fix it. But for now, that's all that needs to be done to complete the first tutorial. I'm going to upload a 3rd video with a whole bunch of little extra pieces of information and go through everything much slower for people that want a more in-depth view of all of this. But for now, this is all you need to do to complete the first tutorial and submit it. So thank you, and see you guys later.